you shoot real estate, your goal is to maximize marketability and build buyer trust before they ever step foot on the property. Look at this table. On the left is what happens when beginners rely on generic presets or push their editing sliders too far. This is the HDR trap, showing blown-out white windows, yellow color casts, and glowing halo effects. The professional standard on the right is defined by clean whites, balanced natural light, and perfectly straight vertical lines. Delivering an overly processed, artificially baked gallery tells buyers the property has something to hide, which erodes their trust before they even book a viewing. The core technical hurdle inside any house is mixed lighting. You have warm tungsten bulbs radiating from ceiling fixtures, colliding with cool, bright daylight pouring in through the windows. Applying a generic preset to this environment often creates bizarre horizontal color splits, heavy digital grain, and unnatural color shifts. Professional real estate presets are not a finished product. One-click magic fixes are a myth. These are meticulously calculated baselines. They exist to prep raw files for a composite workflow, rather than bypassing the process entirely. This flowchart maps the professional workflow engine. First, physical staging and structural lens corrections. Arrange the room and fix verticals before touching a color grade. Next, the baseline preset executes global exposure balances. Finally, stages 4 and 5 require manual labor, like localized masking. For example, a clean and bright preset will successfully balance your overall exposure. But lifting those shadows flattens the depth of the room. You will have to go back in manually to restore the rich texture in the hardwood floors and countertops. A good preset automates the tedious global adjustments, which gives you the time to focus strictly on complex local corrections. Different rooms require different baselines. In a standard kitchen, a specialized preset applies a slightly cool, neutral white balance to fight warm incandescent bulbs without turning white walls blue. Then you have the completely windowless basement. To make a dark space look inhabitable, you need a preset built for aggressive shadow recovery. Lifting those shadows introduces a trade-off. It exposes heavy, high ISO noise, which forces you to run a secondary, specialized AID noise process to completely clean up the distracting grain. Outside the house, the math completely changes. A Twilight exterior preset is engineered to balance the warm glow of interior windows against the cool blue of the evening sky. Presets cannot manufacture light that was never recorded. A true Twilight aesthetic requires a stable tripod and a skilled photographer physically shooting the property right at dusk. This diagram shows the ultimate test, the window pull. You stack a bright interior layer on top of a dark exterior exposed window layer. The baseline preset prepares the top layer by lifting shadows. Finally, a manual mask reveals the properly exposed window underneath. Achieving magazine-quality windows adds 2 to 5 minutes of manual labor to every hero image, regardless of the preset used. Choosing a preset strategy is a business decision based on your client volume and the tier of properties you shoot. This tree breaks down the 3 main profiles. For the high-volume shooter, a comprehensive bundle standardizes your look across hundreds of listings and keeps your output consistent. The trade-off is speed over customization. You sacrifice bespoke edits on lower-tier properties to maintain a profitable hourly rate. The luxury editorial shooter relies on a different aesthetic. These presets use warmer tones, higher contrast, and deeper shadows to create an architectural magazine look. But editorial presets are unforgiving. The high contrast will highlight the flaws in poorly lit or cheap properties. A premium preset streamlines the look of the property, but its financial value is defined by the minutes it cuts from your editing clock. No preset, no matter how specialized, can fix lazy camera work. Spending 5 minutes staging a room and bracketing exposures on a tripod yields better results than fighting Lightroom sliders to rescue a bad RAW file. The most powerful post-processing workflow begins before the shutter is ever pressed.